Welcome back to another episode of Mad in Love. I'm your host, Dr. David Hawkins. Katie, you've got some things in store for us today. You're going to shake this episode up a little bit.
So,
All right.
We have grown a lot as a presence online, on YouTube, on podcasts. And one of those things that comes with a bigger presence is getting a lot of feedback and comments on our videos or on our podcast episodes. And today, instead of reacting to Reddit comments, we are going to react to comments left for us on YouTube. I will put in a disclaimer.
Are you sure about this? Are you sure about this?
I think it's good. It's a good chance for us to have a healthy conversation about some difficult topics. So are we ready?
Let's go for it. Ready.
All right. So it starts off with, it's dangerous to suggest that by threatening separation, you could cause a person to have an emotional breakdown leading to a breakthrough. Threatening separation, even temporarily, is an assault to the ego, which can cause angry or violent behavior brought on by fear or loss of control. You should be more careful about suggesting such a specific action when speaking to people who are already in an emotionally vulnerable position. And tell your spouse you want to separate so they will learn their lesson and come crawling back, not a manipulative action. I know, I've done it myself. It's not wrong to manipulate people who are hurting you. Just don't pretend it's anything but a manipulation. What is wrong is suggesting that you can change another human being. It is extremely unlikely, and worse, it's detrimental to have a mindset like that. Ask any therapist. You can't change other people. Okay, sometimes our actions do change others, but it's not a straight line. And it goes on. And I brought up this specific comment because I thought it's a good place for both of you to provide a lot of clarity. I don't think that it's in alignment with what we talk about in our videos. So this is a good place to talk about it.
Oh, there were so many thoughts. I'll just offer a response to one of her thoughts. Will he be angry? For sure. And we don't encourage separation lightly. In fact, separation is only one possible intervention, but I really like the notion of interventions again. I mean, whether that's pulling back emotionally, whether that's doing what any of us might do. You know, there's Charmin, one of our clinicians, has a tool, and the tool is, if anyone else did this to me, I would. And it's a great thing for us to think about and to teach people. You know, if a friend treated me the way this abusive partner treats me, I would pull back from that friendship. Is that manipulative? Well, it's a natural consequence. I would pull back. I would say, look, I can't be around someone who treats me this way. Back to the notion of threatening to separate and how is that going to land? I've seen many men react very hostilely. I mean, you're going to kick me out of the house just because I did that? And so a separation needs to be done very thoughtfully. We will walk through that process with anyone who decides they want to do that. But again, there does need to be some different breakdowns that lead to the possible breakthroughs, whether it's separation, whether it's pulling back emotionally, whatever it might look like. But what we're trying to do is to say, look, I won't tolerate this kind of behavior. And if you want to be in relationship with me, here's what you will do. And then we outline and we essentially dictate treatment. Here's what treatment will look like. And we make no bones about that. Jonathan.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a kind of a misunderstanding about what boundaries are and what the requests for change are. And what you are describing is separation, and is the conversation about why. There is also there does exist in some dynamics threats to separate or threats to divorce, and there are these kind of, in the heat of the the discussion or the argument, it's I've had it with you, I'm not going to. But that's not what you're describing as far as a
Right.
thought out, like, I cannot live like this any longer. And so I would agree that a threat to separate or a threat to divorce being just a threat, um, meaning to intimidate or scare or shock the other person, but really with no intent to no thought behind it and no intent to actually follow through with that, then those types of threats are really pretty damaging to an intimate relationship. But what you're describing is a boundary to say it's not an attempt to try to control or change somebody else's behavior. It's saying, this behavior, I do not want to continue living this way. So either you can stop your behavior, or I'm probably going to have to get away from it, whatever that looks like.
I love that, Jonathan. So it's it can be a very, and should be a very thoughtful conversation, and it should be a very consistent, caring, and compassionate conversation. I've said before, but I'm now saying it again with greater clarity. Here is how I intend to live my life. If you want to be part of it, you will do that, that, and that. If you don't want to be part of it, I get it. And it's said in a very, very, ideally, a very calm way, but a very consistent and compassionate way. And when we do that, when any of us do that with another person, these moments of intervention bring incredible clarity. Incredible clarity. I mean, imagine we'll pick alcoholism. Look, I want you in my life, but I don't want alcoholism in my life anymore. So if you want to get alcohol treatment, and if you want to become sober, I'd love to still be with you. But if you don't, I get it, and we'll have a parting of the ways, and it brings clarity so that the person says, "Oh my goodness, I have a decision to make." And that's what we want to bring about. We want to bring, I think, Katie and Jonathan, I like the word clarity. We help bring clarity to a situation so that people can make the choices that they want to make, and it determines a path forward.
I think all of us could agree that boundaries are good and healthy. And I saw a video online somewhere. I don't know where to credit it properly, but this person said that a boundary is when you change something that you're going to do differently, and a threat is when you expect the other person to do something differently. So this is a good time to think about that. People need to have healthy boundaries, but that's really looking inward on how you could establish healthy behaviors for
Beautifully.
yourself.
Nicely done, Katie. All right. Well, fantastic. Listeners, if any of this resonates with you, you can always start by visiting our website, www.marriagerecoverycenter.com, to book a free 20-minute phone consultation with one of our very well-trained client care specialists to learn how to get started on getting help. And if you've enjoyed this episode, please take a moment and leave us a 5-star review and subscribe to our channel to be notified of upcoming episodes. Until next time, this is Dr. David Hawkins and Jonathan Glover signing off for Mad in Love. Take care. God bless.